studying, little Ampy. Abnormal behavior? Looks like you're pretty abnormal.
Okay, class, books away. Time for your test. Time's up. You failed, son. What is this? You call this an acceptable grade? You call this an acceptable grade? My mom and I worked so hard to put food on the table for you. This is what you get.
Wait! Ampy, don't kill yourself. Don't do this kind of abnormal behavior. It's okay. You don't have to do this. You can just study cognition instead.
You think you're good enough to learn about abnormal behavior? You're not good enough to learn about learning. So I'm going to teach you.
That's right, Ampy. We're here to teach you about cognition. Now, Ampy, if you want to actually learn anything in life, you have to use effortful processing, which is when you put in conscious effort to learn things.
Which is something you've never done in your entire life, Ampy. Ampy, how do you usually study for a test? All at once? What the hell is wrong with you?
Ampy, you can't study like that. You have to use something called...
Continue.
You have to use something called the spacing effect. You memorize things better if you study in small increments over a long period of time, instead of cramming the night before a test.
Ampy, shut up. Shut up. You have no brain cells. Do you know how I know that? Because you don't know what Quizlet is. Ampy, if you had any sort of brain whatsoever, you would know that 2/3 of Americans use Quizlet to study, but you don't. Why?
Since you don't know what Quizlet is, I'm assuming you don't even understand why it would be helpful. So I'll explain, because I'm the nice one here, obviously. Quizlet helps take advantage of the testing effect, where if you test yourself on information, you remember it better than if you just read it over and over again.
Keep going, keep going.
Oh my god.
Keep going.
Using Quizlet, you can test yourself on information, so you'll be much more prepared by the time the actual AP test rolls around. Okay, Ampy, one thing you can use to help memorize things are mnemonics, which are memory tricks that are usually visually based. My personal favorite is the PEG word system, where you memorize a list of rhyming numbers and words, and then associate them with things that you want to memorize. For example, one bun, cognition, you imagine a bun having coherent thoughts.
Yeah, Ampy. Or like 2 shoe autism.
No, it has to be something you'll actually remember. For example, 3 tree PTSD. Like if a tree fell on you, you're probably scared of trees now.
How about this? 4 narcissistic personality disorder.
Yeah, that works. You got it, MP, right? Alright, MP, now that you're done with step 1, processing, time for step 2, storing the memories that you just made. Now, MP, what you don't want to do in this scenario is use your sensory memory or your short-term memory, because memories there don't last very long. What you do want to do is use your long-term memory, so you can actually remember things in time for the test. Your long-term memory, are you listening? Your long-term memory can be sorted into implicit or unconscious and explicit or conscious memories. What you want to use here for your studying are your semantic memories, which is a subset of your explicit memories. That's where you store your knowledge, facts, and concepts, which is what you need to know right now.
It's been said that I need to bully you more. So, you see this, Ampy? That's you.
Alright, Ampy, remember that testing effect from earlier? Take this test right now. Alright, Ampy, notice how right now you're taking this test in the same spot where you just studied? That makes it a lot easier for you because it's something called the context effect, where you recall things a lot easier when you practice them in the same place where you learned them. Unfortunately for you, when you take the actual AP test, you'll be in a different room, so you're kind of screwed there.
Yeah, Ampy. The whole world's against you. You're dumb, stupid, dumb. It had no context effect. Yeah.
Oh, and one more thing, Ampy. Since studying seems to be such a sad memory for you, maybe you should get really sad right before you take the test. Memories tend to be mood congruent, so if you feel sad, you'll remember everything else that made you sad before that.
Yeah. Bender. You're a sad individual. Empy, you're so dumb. You're gonna forget everything before the test. I guarantee it.
But how does forgetting work? Don't worry, Ampy. Forgetting isn't all bad. You kind of need it. If you remembered everything that happened to you all the time, you'd be really overwhelmed. But forgetting can sometimes suck. There are two types of forgetting, called encoding failure, which is when you don't pay attention in the first place, and storage decay, which is when you forget things because you don't use the knowledge that you learned. You can prevent storage decay from happening by using the memories often by studying consistently, taking advantage of the spacing effect that we told you about earlier. Do you remember that? Or did you forget?
Yeah, Empy, did you forget that? You stupid individual.
Alright, Ampy, you've just learned a lot of information at once, so when you take this test right now, you might fall victim to interference, which is when interaction of multiple memories interferes with retrieving those memories. Ampy, there's two types of interference, and if you ever forget which type you're experiencing, just remember porn.
What?
So there's proactive interference and retroactive interference. Proactive interference is when old memories interfere with your new.
How is that related to porn?
Shut up. Retroactive interference is when your recent memories impact you recalling your old memories. You can remember this with the mnemonic, remember that from earlier. Proactive, old block. Retroactive, new block. P-O-R-N. Ampy, you're really good at thinking about porn. You'll do fine. And now, with his newfound knowledge of memory, Ampy takes on his next challenge. The next psychology test.
Test time. That Ampy, I have such low expectations for it. Wow, Ampy, first turn it in. You probably randomly selected every question or something. Ha 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 ha. He got an A+. Oh my god. Ampy, did you cheat?
But as we know, Ampy did not cheat. He simply used the power of cognition and memory to learn how to learn.
Is that an A+? Oh my god, Ampy. Your mother and I decided you're finally worthy of our love.
Aww.
I got 0 friends. I got 0 friends.
Oh, I'm so sick. Anyways, save your lives now. Continue.